So I hate to give credit to Chuck Todd because, it's Chuck Todd. He doesn't deserve a lot of credit. Usually he's a whiny shill for the Democrat Party. However, in this particular case, he grilled California Governor Gavin Newsom about how Newsom handled COVID in California. And Chuck Todd actually asked Gavin Newsom some pretty good questions and pressed him when Gavin Newsom turned into the slime ball that he is. Take a look at this.
During COVID, you were pretty strict with the lockdowns here. And there was an interesting piece in Harper's that sort of was critical of your decisions from this perspective. You found a way to allow the motion picture industry and the sort of the movie industry to get back to work. But you didn't allow people to grieve together at funerals or at churches. And that this may be why there's such a polarized disconnect. What you prioritize, right? This is this anger between the populace and the elite, supposedly. Here you prioritize this industry, but you were tougher on those that just wanted to go worship. What do you say to that criticism?
I think there's a lot of humility, and we didn't know what we didn't know, and it was hardly it was we collectively. And I think all of us, in terms of
okay, pause it for 1 second there. Pause it for 1 second there. So humility is the first word that he said. Humility would be admitting that you got something terribly wrong and taking responsibility for something you got wrong without trying to make an excuse for it. That's why it's the same, that humility has the same root as humiliation, because it's an embarrassing thing. It is a bad mark on your reputation if you were so wrong about something and you shouldn't have been wrong about something. But humility is the last word that I would use to describe Gavin Newsom, because the first thing he does is he doesn't take personal responsibility. He says, we're talking we here. This was collective action we took. Governor Newsom, let me remind you, I lived in San Diego at the time, and I know that you're going to blame this on local officials, but local officials wouldn't have been allowed to do this had you done your duty as governor and prohibited this kind of lockdown. I lived a mile from the beach in San Diego. I lived in Pacific Beach, San Diego. The beaches were closed down. I walked half a block from my house up the hill to Kate Sessions Park. You guys can all look this up so you understand what Kate Sessions Park is. It is a steep hill covered entirely with grass. It's a park that people like to bring their dogs to. And I walked from my house to Kate Sessions Park in the middle of a sunny afternoon, 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. I sat down on the grass in Kate Sessions Park. Not a soul was within 200 yards of me. Not another soul. And a police officer on an ATV comes careening over the top of the hill, stops his ATV next to us. Keep in mind, he's the only person that we have been within 200 yards of, let alone 6 feet. And he says, it's illegal for you to be here. And I was like, illegal for me to be here? And he says, it's illegal for you to be in the park right now. And I said, why? And he said, because the COVID lockdowns are prohibiting people from sunbathing in the park. And I wasn't even sunbathing. I was just sitting there on the grass. Yes, in the middle of the summer, in the sun. Well, it wasn't the summer, but San Diego is always summer. In the middle of the sun, he made us leave the park. The San Diego police made me leave Kate Sessions Park sitting on the grass because of the lockdowns in California. Gavin Newsom, Governor Newsom, this was not collective action. This was action taken from the top that trickled down. You enabled and empowered local jurisdictions to lock us in our homes.